Hey there, it's Max here. Welcome to another backpacking adventure. Today we also have Megan.
Hi.
So today we're in the Mount Rogers area. We're doing a loop around Mount Rogers in the Grayson Highlands. It's about 20 miles. It's late October 2021 and we just got started. We just got out of the car. So tonight the plan is to head up north to Scales campsite, which is super cool. It's a big livestock corral. And then the next night we'll end up at the Mount Rogers campsite, sleeping in a tent, just like tonight. So here we go. So it's about 20 minutes from 6, and we went out here about an hour and a half, and I think we have another probably 3 or so miles to the Scales campsite, so we're definitely going to be doing a little night hiking, but we're prepared for that. It's going to be exciting. Fall's definitely in the air. It's nice and dry and cool. It's about 45 degrees, so it just feels, it's like perfect hiking weather. It's like not that cold at all, but you know, no bugs and no real sweating, so it's been good so far. We spotted our first ponies. We'll go get a close-up. There's a million of them in this park, so you're definitely gonna see some if you come here. But it's our first ponies of the trip, so it's extra special.
Maybe your boot getting wet. You don't have any bracelets.
Megan, show me your glow wear.
Woo.
Oh my god, it looks great.
Looks pretty groovy, huh?
Yeah, you got a necklace and 2 wrists, some bracelets.
Thanks to Maxie.
We're trying this thing where, I mean, this sounds silly because it's so simple, but basically you stop for dinner before you get to camp, and you know, instead of feeling like a slug eating a big meal, after dinner in camp, you know, get to eat and then walk and kind of digest it a little better, I guess. And that way when you get to camp, you sit up and you're done. No cooking dinner. Bon appetit.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh God. If it said shrimp in it, oh my God. Hey folks, finally here in camp. Oh no, see the roof collapsed? I think the pole came out on the other side. Good morning. It is the morning of day 2. Last night we got the scales, and it was like completely full of like car campers, which is like super weird. I've been going there for the last 10 years, and I don't recall them letting people drive their trucks and stuff onto the grass into the stable that's there. I know there's a road, you know, that way a caretaker can get up there, but man, it was just like a car camping site. And there's lots of people having fires and car alarms going off, and it was just not what we were expecting. So we walked up the trail another mile or two and found this spot here, which was a lot quieter. Yeah, the backpack doesn't help with that, with it being laying around our waist. So we just switched off the Lewis Creek Trail to the Cliffside Trail. Pretty much the whole day we've been going downhill. We've lost about 1,400 feet. And now apparently that we're on Creekside, we have to go all the way back up. We're at 3,800, we have to go to like 5,200, I think, is the top of Mount Rogers, and that's kind of the plan for tonight. So honestly, I'm not really sure who made this route. I mean, this is kind of like a backwoods trail here. We kind of just spent the day kind of going through the forest and stuff. I mean, it's pretty and everything, but it's definitely kind of like a, I'm not sure if the descent and climb is quite necessary if you wanted to kind of stay on some other trails, but it'd be a good challenge. So yeah, we probably have like we have about 1,200 feet to climb now. So hey girl, what do you think so far? You having fun? Wink. All right, y'all, we're on the Mount Rogers Trail. So we're probably about 2 or 3 miles from the summit. We don't think we're probably gonna make it tonight. We'll probably just find like a good place to like own kind of private place, because the campsites that are designated so far have been like swamped. And we packed in a bunch of water, so we pretty much can take anywhere that's flat. So, oh my God, look at this trail though. Pretty dang rocky. We've definitely been off the beaten path today for at least half of it. Ever since we got off the AT, this stuff is pretty hellacious on your calves and legs, and after a while, you know, you get tired when you start just tripping over all this stuff, and then it's really easy to get hurt. So, what is it? Say it again, babe.
Coming soon. Mad Max hiking potion for when you're feeling down and you need to get right back up. Like this. Woo!
I feel great. What do we got there, boo? It says Appalachian Trail, that way, Mount Rogers North. So we just came from Grindstone Campground, 4 miles. Okay. So basically, guys, we go up this way in the AT, and we'll come up to Mount Rogers, and doesn't really say, but it looks like it's like less than 2 miles. And so we'll kind of see, basically, as soon as we see a good campsite, we're going to call it a day, but that might not be until we get there, because we're so high up on the mountain that there's really no flat places up here. So, but we shall see. We're doing really good. We stopped and had coffee and hot chocolate, and it was just the magic elixir, and we both feel a lot better after that. So anyway, onward. I see a huge view coming up. We've broken through the woods back into the Grayson Highlands. Well, not quite the Grayson Highlands, but basically a huge bowl that looks like, which is going to be beautiful. It's clear. It's nice and cool now. It's about 50 to 55 degrees, 50. And about 40 minutes before sunset. Golden hour, my favorite hour of the day. By far, easily.
Wow.
This is the best view I think we've seen so far.
It's well worth it.
We're in the last little stretch here. The last mile or two is really rough. Coming up when you're tired. I thought it'd be more of a cakewalk, but man, looks like we're probably finally about here. So very happy to be in camp soon. Hello, this is our camp tonight. As I'll show you, it's basically right off the trail here, and everything else is taken, but this ought to do. So there's definitely a very cold wind coming through here pretty quickly. So we're gonna suit up and get all our layers on and windbreakers and stuff, and probably use a tent to help us cook by breaking some wind. But man, long day, 10.6 miles I think. So I am starving. We're both tired. We're like, oh, let's like not hike too hard today. And we had that coffee and that hot chocolate, and then as Megan says, we went B2W, which means balls to the wall, which is generally what ends up happening. And same thing, like, let's go easy. Nah, let's go hard. And we did. So
and it was worth it.
it was totally worth it. Good morning. It's the morning. It's the second morning. We're at the Mount Rogers site right now. We had a pretty good night's sleep. Better than last night, if you ask me. Our site was a lot flatter last night. We were just kind of on an improv site because Scales was so full of cars. It was ridiculous. But yeah, the wind's really going up here, and we stay nice and warm. But I guess I've been using this Gossamer gear, the 2 tent, for a couple trips now, so I'm starting to kind of like get the feel for it. And I'm coming from a Big Agnes tent, I think like the Copper Spur 2, I think. I always get the name wrong, but it's a 2-person tent that's more modern. It's not the Tiger Wall. Well, anyway, there's definitely some downsides I've been noticing and things that I'm kind of like concerned about. This is definitely a lighter tent. I like that it's freestanding. It's like a trekking pole tent, but something that's concerning to me is that, first thing is, it's pretty tiny. So I think they shrunk this tent over the last year or two, and I just don't agree with it. I can see, and kind of like when they sell tents on the specs, it fits more into their category of a 2-person tent, makes it more competitive, but I think in reality, the 4 ounces they saved wasn't worth it. So it's just a really tight squeeze in here, and what happens is, so much of this tent is mesh that, you know, look at the pad. It's, instead of squeezing into the sidewall, it's squeezing into the bug mesh. And so that bug mesh really can't survive it well. And what happens is, you know, you can see this tent's been out only a few times, and you can see down here maybe that it's starting to pull a little bit. It's still bug proof, but, you know, like a tent, if you take care of it, like Big Agnes, can definitely last 10 years, and I'm just not sure if this tent would really last that long. I'm guessing 3 or 4 maybe. And the other big thing is that, just like I showed you there with the mat pushing to the sidewall, you know, it has a bathtub floor supposedly, but when you put too much stuff in it, or even just 2 people, it feels like you push out on the sidewall so much, and how they're constructed, the bathtub floor is like pushed to the ground, and man, if we had like any water whatsoever going to the ground, we'd be screwed. I mean, look at this back here. I mean, this is also a function how you pitch it, but, you know, this is kind of a weird shape, so like pitching it is not necessarily easy when you're out on the flat ground. This side's okay, but look, you can touch the ground through the screen here. You know, if there's any water, just, it's like not a bathtub floor. I think part of it is how they constructed the floor, instead of like making this 2 pieces where this wants to stand up more. It's all one piece. And yeah, just, I wouldn't trust this in a big rainstorm on a surface that didn't drain well. I think you'd be asking for trouble. The other part of it is, yeah, I guess next time I'll try to pitch it differently, but I'm not quite sure how I would accomplish that. So I guess those are kind of my thoughts so far on the 2 tent. Yeah, I think it's like a 1-person palace. If it was just like 10% bigger, longer, and wider, it'd be it makes a lot more sense. And then, yeah, how they construct it, and the bathtub floor, yeah, I'm just not sure about that yet. So I do kind of miss my Big Agnes. I feel like they really had their thing down, but oh well, I guess we'll see. You know, I guess I'll get to know this tent better over more trips, and maybe I can pitch it better or something. So while I was out here, I thought of a problem, and that is, you know, you brush your teeth out here, and especially really populated parks where, you know, you have like hundreds of people using the same spots a week, and people spit out the toothpaste and don't realize that, you know, it doesn't wash away and it leaves a big stain. So I came up with a technique that basically is just as convenient as you know, spitting basically wherever, but you know, it's fully leave no trace. And so basically it's super simple. I mean, you know, do the toothpaste, brush your teeth, but instead of spitting it out onto the ground, you spit it into your garbage. But then, you know, most people like to rinse their teeth. Well, what's actually coming along kind of seems like the new standard procedure that dentists recommends is you don't rinse your teeth, you just spit as much out, and that way the fluoride can sit in your teeth longer, you get less cavities. So that's what you do, is you spit out as much as you can in your garbage bag and you don't rinse. And so it's super simple. Like, instead of being like, oh, I need to brush my teeth, walk up somewhere, you know, dig a cat hole, which you should do, or the dispersal method, which isn't perfect, this one is completely perfect, and actually it might be better for your teeth to not spit it out, all of it anyway. So you can brush your teeth in camp, you can, you know, spit it into your garbage, don't rinse, and then boom. It's the better method for every way. All right, this is how you get to Mount Rogers summit. If you're camping around Mount Rogers, it's right off the AT. The AT's down there, and the AT turns left there. There's a sign. And yeah, the Mount Rogers is a little spur trail, dead end. That's, I think, less than half a mile up to the summit. So we just go up that way. So, as you can see, we're getting close to the top. So that means that there's no deciduous trees whatsoever. It's like 100% spruce. I think it's black spruce. I'll correct that. All right, we're at the summit, and a lot of people are confused that come up here. They're not expecting this to be like, not nothing up here, but there's no big plaque. There's two elevation, like geological survey tokens that are in the rock, and that's it. For me, I love it up here. I don't really care that there's not really a view or anything. I mean, you can tell you're high up. And yeah, we're the highest people in Virginia right now, elevation-wise. So, here's one of the tokens. As you can see, looks like it was placed in 1933. It's been there a long time. That'd be cool to have a replica of that in my house or something like that. And then this is actually the way we came up from over there, and that rock right there has the second token in it, because they're both, I guess, equal. They're both the highest point in Virginia, basically. So people can't find them. People think there's like a bald up here. Nope. But if you ask me, it's pretty, very pretty up here.
Well worth the work to get here.
Exactly. It was like 15 minutes, probably less than that. We stopped and took some clothes off. We were getting hot, so it's not bad at all getting up here. So that beautiful sun coming off their faces.
Is it a woolly one or a caterpillar?
Here's a caterpillar. Here's a Thomas Knob shelter, pretty iconic. If you're coming to Mount Rogers area, it's like one of the most used and closest to the Grayson Highlands, so it's like pretty heavy traffic. So we slept down there. Looks like it's a one-story shelter. Yeah. So, and behind the shelter is a spring. It's a bit of a drop-off, but we need some juice before we go hiking with the ponies in the sunlight. So we're gonna go fill up our bottles. So these are the ponies. This is what the Grayson Highlands is famous for. I wouldn't call them wild, but like they're basically wild during the summer I hear here, and they keep the balds bald. They constantly eat everything. They're like free lawn mowing service. And in the winter they take them in, bring them to the vet, do some crowd control a little bit, and then they dump them back out here in the spring. They're super friendly. You're not supposed to pet them, and we didn't. He actually approached us. We don't feed them, but you'll see a lot of people out here, you know, coming up and petting them, and you know they're used to it, and they'll pull, you know, the straps on your pack and try to eat the salt. They'll pull the food out of your hands if you're not careful. So they'll come to you, no problem. All right, here's the crossing rhododendron trail, gap trail, and that bus trail. So we're actually taking off right down this way. We're a little less than 2 miles from the car, and we're going to go take rhododendron to Massey Gap, and we'll be back at the car, and that'll complete our trip, 20 miles. So, peace and love. All right, guys, we made it. We're back at the car.
We made it back.
Yep.
Yahoo.
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 Yeah, we're definitely pretty tired. I feel pretty good. But yeah, it was 2 nights, and I think it was just the perfect mixture of distance and stuff. It's like right when you're ready to go. No, like, you know, kind of like burning the midnight oil. Anyway, yeah, really good trip, great trip. And what do you think your favorite thing that you saw on the trip was?
Maybe when we were on, what was it, Cliffside Trail,
Mm-hmm.
and there was the creek and the water, and I was feeling not so great then, but then we got the Maxi Potion, and then everything was A-okay from there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. That's also really great. Ponies were good.
Pony's always good.
Top thing I think was the weather for me. Just really no real rain, nice and cool, and the autumn leaves. So good trip. Mission accomplished. So.
Maxie just stubbed Megan's
Sorry.
nearly black toenail. That's what that face was for.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.
Peace out.
Bye.